Hey Sebastian, how you doing? You all right?
Up, bro?
I think one of the sort of like most interesting things that's happened to you recently is obviously the big moment at the end of last year where you were at Nogi Worlds and obviously had a bit of banter with the winner Powell and you've ended up being banned for a year. Can I
Yeah, I
ask?
actually can't remember. What was that again about? Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, sorry. I couldn't remember. Dude, yeah, that was pretty funny.
So one thing I wanted to ask you because I think it's quite interesting is realistically, no one really pays attention, or not many people outside like top competitors pay attention to like brown belt medalists and that sort of thing. But you've actually garnered a lot of attention almost because the IBJJF have tried to like shut you down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So weirdly, it's kind of ended up in your favor, isn't it?
massively, bro. I mean, it's pretty funny because I even noticed I have more followers now than a lot of black belt world champions just because of that. Like, I think that reel got me 6,000 followers just from that one video. So I think they did me a massive favor because I posted it as 44 million, maybe over 44 million views now, and then I've reposted it and it's gotten like 3 million. So like every time I post it, it's just gold. So I think they did me a massive favor, to be honest.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, it's one of those things where I think I haven't seen anyone falling in line with the IBJJF. Everyone sort of realized that it's a bit crazy that they decided to ban you for a year as well, isn't it? So it's not even a short period of time, really.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how long Klein and Duarte got banned for taking Tren. So like, it's pretty funny to be on par with that.
Yeah, and I know obviously it's one of those things as well where you shared this a few times as well, where the still image of you swearing at Powell obviously looks kind of bad, but when you see the actual full clip, like a couple of seconds either side, you can really clearly see that you're having a laugh, he finds it funny, and then that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's super random because that picture looks so bad. Like I couldn't even explain myself. I remember that when they emailed me, I was like, oh, that picture's so bad. So I tried to, this is before anything happened. I just explained myself. I was like, oh yeah, we'll just have a bit of fun. And, we'll just, I was just trying to be honest. And they're like, oh, we're going to ban you. And I was like, oh, in my head, I'm thinking like, all right, that picture's pretty bad. Like, all right. But then this random kid who I've never even heard of, like, I never even like met him before. He's like, oh, I took a video of the podium. You want to see? I was like, what? There's a video. Like, this is the best, the best reel ever. What I thought immediately. And then the guy sends me the video and I'm like, bro, this is literally gold. Like, I just knew it right there. Like, this is going to be epic.
Yeah, and like I said, it really does show that Powell literally doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like he's not
Yeah, man.
not in any way offended at all.
No, I mean, like, I was joking with him. Like, he's pretty hard to joke with, but I was cracking jokes with him. It was all one sided, but I was just having fun the whole time. And then he just went out of swing. And then, bro, this guy was born, bro. You know who this is? This is Epstein, bro. Epstein's on Instagram. He was born an influencer. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how it went, man.
And then when you obviously faced Powell, is that the first time you two have sort of crossed paths on the mats, or have you faced each other before?
Yeah. No, I didn't even know who he was. To be honest, never even heard of him. I just, I remember just thinking in the match, I'm like, man, I can't pass this guy. And I lost on one or two negatives because I couldn't pass, to be honest. But I felt pretty comfortable. Like I never felt threatened. He didn't get close to entering my legs. He didn't really have any upper body attacks. Never like didn't never made my hip touch the mat. But I could not pass that guy, bro. Impossible.
Yeah, and I think it should sort of give you a bit of reassurance as well because over the last couple of months, Powell's really like shot out of nowhere where he tapped some elite competitors. You know what I mean? So
Bro, he's been cooking, bro. He's been cooking. I was watching that. I'm like, what? Like, dude, I should be doing that right now. Why am I not doing that? But no, he is the world champion though. Like I didn't win. So, that's definitely his next step.
and for you as well, obviously you've got that year ban to serve now, but are you gonna come back to IBJJF in the future, or are you sort of over that now?
Well, bro, this is how it worked out so well because Asian trials this year is like the same week. Whoa, where'd you go? Asian trials, okay, is at the same time as Nogi Wells. It's in Thailand. Like it's literally perfect. I couldn't even do Nogi Wells this year if I wanted to. So, it worked out pretty well. Maybe I'll go back. Like, man, I just don't want to spend $1,000 on a competition. It's sort of ludicrous, but you know, maybe one day I'll take these off and be a bit more a humble guy and I might join in again. But for now, I want to enjoy my year off. I mean, like the hardest part is like all this money that I'm saving. Still not to do all of it, to be honest. Like it's just so much. But I'm figuring out things. I've got these glasses now. Got a Gucci hat, man. Like so all these little things that IBJJF have sort of blessed me with that eventually I might have to let go of and show some humility and compete for them again. But for now, I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, well, like you said, that's worked out really well with trials and Nogi Worlds coming up at the same time. And for trials, this will be your second or third time doing it now?
That was my second time. So the first time I did it was 2022. I got absolutely wrecked. Then the last trials, I injured myself. I had an injury, so I couldn't do it. And then this time, bro, this is my time, bro. It's time to go. Got these things. I'm 24 now, mate. 24 years of age. Huge. So I'm going to get in there and cook.
Yeah, and I think with that sort of like cycle as well, you've got a good chance where you've got two opportunities to make that run. You've got trials, like you said, coming up at the end of the year, and then you'll have another one next year as
Yeah.
well. Is there anyone you've got an eye on, like in your division, that is going to be your sort of like main competition when they show up?
Well, I don't even know what weight class I'm going to do, bro. To be honest, right now I'm about 97 kilos, which is pretty big, but 88 is like, there's some good guys in there, man. But every division's tough. I think every division, I mean, even if like, to be honest, I can sit here naming everyone, but to be honest, some random guy could pull up and smash me. So to be honest, that makes no sense to focus on one individual when there's so many good guys that can just come out of the woodwork. So I'm just going to get in there and have a send.
Yeah, and I think you're right as well that it happens a lot, especially with Asian trials. And I'm based down in the UK, so it happens with our trials as well in Europe, where there's so many guys that nobody's ever heard of that are actually really, really good.
Yeah, man. I didn't know who Pavel was, bro. I'm just like, what? Like this guy beat Dorian? Like that was crazy to me. So
Yeah.
he's just one random guy that I've never heard of, and like there's probably 20 of them, 20 Pavels out there, just ready to hurt everyone. Right?
And then for you, obviously, you've got a big match coming up now, and you're getting ready to face Isaac Michel, aren't you, on Subversion, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's next week.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the match so far? What have you been doing to prepare for it?
Pretty excited, bro. Obviously, I've not been wrestling because that would be absolutely useless. So, just been working pretty much everything else. Hopefully, get some breakthroughs is what I've been doing. Like, dude, that guy's just a beast, bro. 10-minute match. Honestly, that's pretty good. Like, 15 minutes. I think I'd probably have to tap out from being tired, but I think I can make it 10 minutes without, dying. So once I get past the dying aspect of things, I feel pretty comfortable, to be honest. I know I'm probably I'm pretty strong and explosive. And I think I'm like pretty sneaky and elusive with things. So I'm sort of trying to catch him in those little transitions. But that guy's freaking good, man. I mean, it's the best big match, probably the biggest match I've ever had, like biggest scheduled match. So just excited to get in there, bro. Want to have a crack.
Yeah, and I think you raise a good point as well that I know Isaac's been working on his wrestling quite a lot over the last like 2 years, 3 years kind of thing. So are you just planning on not playing that game with him as all of you?
I mean, bro, I'll get wrecked, bro. Like you're telling me to play chess against like Hikaru Nakamura, bro. I can't do it, man. I'll get double legged off the stage.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things as well. I think it's good that you've got that same attitude that a lot of people have, where you can recognize your strengths, weaknesses, their strengths and weaknesses, and then act accordingly. Which I think that's pretty much how you win matches, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, bro. I mean, that guy's pretty good everywhere. But I'm not gonna count myself out, bro. I know I'm pretty good. I'm getting better. Like I know I can. If I get to my spots, I can beat anyone in the world. So that's just my goal, bro. Is get to my spots, man. If we can't get there, bro, had a good time doing it.
That's good. That's good. And then obviously you did PGF last year as well, didn't you?
Yeah, that
that
was
was your
sick.
first time? That was your first time doing it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
And
was.
how did you find the experience? Because I know it's pretty surreal having like 12 matches in 4 or 5 days.
Bro, bro, I got food poisoning in PGF. That was like probably the worst part of the whole thing. And I think the reason I hate like using excuses, bro, but like my goal was just I wanted to get into that playoffs. And man, I was so like my stomach was so cooked that I couldn't finish anyone. I couldn't get any submissions. But then at some point I just sort of like just looked at my cards and I was like, man, I'm so like unwell. I'm just not gonna quit, bro. I'm gonna do every match. because at that point, like at least I can show up and finish the damn thing. Because so many guys are dropping off like flies, and I'm just thinking like, man, I'm sick as, and I'm gonna finish this just to like get one over you guys, to be honest. And like I got no sub, bro. I'd love to do another PGF because, bro, I know like, bro, just being sick, man. Like I don't know, like it's just the worst time. 4 days of competition is crazy. Like honestly, I was a bit sick at Nogi Worlds, but bro, it's one day. Like I was honestly, it was fine. Like I didn't even think about it. But being sick for four consecutive days, and we're in Vegas, and there's no, you can't cook. We're in a hotel, so I'm eating like Subway only. I think I got sick from like this one shop called TGI Fridays. Like I ate some potato thing, and like the next day I woke up and I was ruined. And bro, like this made me so annoyed to get so sick. But man, if I get another chance at PGF, bro, like it's redemption time, man. Because like just getting through those 4 days like really changed me as an athlete, and also the fact that like I could still go in there and like be that sick and still not get submitted by like some of the best guys in the world. At that point, I'm like, man, I'm just not gonna get sub, bro. Because I couldn't, man, I was getting submissions. I was getting like, I put people in full triangles and I was just like blacking out, bro. I couldn't see through my eyes. Like I couldn't hear or see. And then all of a sudden, like I just had to let go of the triangle because my body was gonna explode. So like being sick in that experience was definitely different to like how it could have been. But like, bro, I still loved it, man. It was so good.
It's funny you mentioned that as well, because I actually spoke to the guy who won your season, Ryan Aiken, and
All right.
he said something really similar as well, that those 4 days, it literally felt like he'd done months and months worth of work, that the change was huge in that space of time.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same kind of thing, that you developed a lot in that space of time?
Yeah, man. Well, I'll tell you what, like that was so hard. I remember I did Who's Number One the month later. And I remember like seeing my opponent and I could just tell he was stressing. And I'm thinking like, bro, I did PGF, bro. This is nothing. Like this is easy. And it was easy. Like the match was fine. I won the match. And like, man, I wasn't even stressing, man. Same with Worlds, like Nogi Worlds. I had a flu. I don't know what's up with this bad run I had, to be honest. Like, how did I have a flu that day? But that didn't even really affect me, man. Like, I remember being a bit like, oh, my nose in the first match. And then like, dude, it didn't even bother me because like I knew it was just one day of work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, once you've gone from doing, like I said, 12 matches in 4 days, doing two or three or one in a night is nothing, is it? You know what I mean?
No, it's fine, man. And I had 8 matches at Worlds, and that was fine.
And I think there's something to be said as well for like the prolonged exposure, where doing 8 matches in a day sounds like a lot, but you kind of just get on a run, don't you? You know what I mean? You're like building momentum throughout the day. Whereas when you have 10 matches, 12 matches over consecutive days, it's really hard to go back out there fresh in the morning and get back into
Oh,
the
yeah.
rhythm that you're doing.
Like, I remember at some point, like, I mean, PGF felt like weeks to me. Like, there was points where, like, when I look back at it, it was like a long time. You know, it was not 4 days. I remember, like, that backstage area, like, making me feel sick. Like, obviously, I had a stomach problem. So, like, I was probably just sick anyway. But I remember just feeling sick back there, like, oh, I hate this place. Like, I feel like I was in a bunker. Like, just get me out of here. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, dude, it was so good. Had heaps fun. Like, me and Ryan, like, I think we're pretty good friends now. Just from even, we're even on the same team. Like, we just hung out and, like, you know, just met, like, it's just being around people for that long. Like, you sort of get to know them, especially when it's in, like, a situation that's, like, hard. And then some people, like, you know, you end up not liking because of the exact same reason. So it's pretty cool. Like, you end up meeting people, seeing who they are. And it's just a cool experience. Like, you can't really emulate it.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't, because yeah, you're like you said, you're all sort of trapped in a room together for a couple of weeks or a couple of
Yeah.
days, and you got the draft beforehand. You spend so much time together that you are gonna, like you said, either find out people's like real personality, aren't you? You know.
Now you do, you find out. And
And
it's
then,
cool.
have you got any other sort of plans for this year so far? Then, other than Charles at the end of the year and Isaac next week?
Um, I mean, those are obviously the two biggest things I think I'm going to get this year. Uh, what else? Man, I'd love to be a Who's Number One again. If there's another PGF, I'm going to do it. It'd be good to come back to Texas, to America, and compete over there. I want to get some more ADC experience before I do trials, especially with the wrestling aspect. Like I was practicing a lot of wrestling last year, but recently I've dropped it off because for this match, I need to get better at all my other skills. But, you know, after this Isaac match, I think I'm going to have to get on that ass, you know, Pennsylvania stack. So, you know, it's a bit of that, mate. So, yeah, get cranking.
Yeah. And then you mentioned obviously getting a bit more ADCC experience. Do you find, because obviously where you train in Australia, there's not a huge amount of competition experience available, competition opportunities, sorry. Do you find that is difficult to deal with? Like, would you find yourself having an easier time if you were sort of like smack bang in the middle of Texas where you can compete every couple of weeks, you know?
I mean, I think you'd be surprised like how many people show up to competitions here. Like a grappling industry could have 1,000 people. Like it's pretty crazy. But the competition in America, I think, just being against that caliber constantly, and like it's the actual guys that are at the highest level you're fighting. So I feel like it's an exact read of what you're going to get. And also, I mean, I even feel like the fact that I competed so much in America when I went to Nogi Worlds, like I was winning matches just off the fact that I've just competed so much. Because I had 75 matches last year. So having that many matches, and I think I lost 11 of them, those 11 losses, they were like hyperbolic timetables of progress. Like every time I was in a position at Nogi Worlds that I remembered I failed in the past, it was like lights are going off in my head and I didn't make that same mistake. And that's why I think I went so far. So I think just competition experience and like competing against the best guys constantly makes a big difference. But at the same time, like you don't have to be against these guys all the time. Like, people here are good, man. So I think both are great.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're not wrong. There's plenty of talent in Australia, and you see plenty of people that either move to the States and make an immediate impact because they get a bit more opportunity to compete on like bigger stages, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or people like yourself or like Lachlan who just never leave Australia, but every time they come over, they do really well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Lachlan's a freaking beast, man. Like, yeah, he's a machine. I mean, guys like that are so good. I mean, who's here? Like Levi's here. There's Lucas Kennard, you know, all these good gyms in Sydney, Sydney Wrestling Academy. They got Sydney West Martial Arts, like all these good little gyms around, and like, they produce good people to compete against or to train with. So,
Right.
yeah.
And then you mentioned having like quite a big sort of like busy year last year. Are you doing the same thing again this year, or are you taking a bit of time to work on those skills, like you said?
No, bro, I'll send it, bro. I'll send it. I'll work on the skill and do that. Like, bro, I can do both. Like, I don't have to like have a camp for every competition. Like, man, to be honest, even Nogi Worlds, I had like 2 days off before it. Like, I didn't like it doesn't make a difference to me, to be honest. I mean, like, sure, I could probably hone in on things. Right now, I'm definitely focusing on some like specific stuff for my match coming up. But like, other than that, to be honest, I feel pretty comfortable competing and training for my skills as well. Because when I compete, like, it's a different person now. I'm a totally different person to when I'm in the gym. So, you know, I'll just bring out the second guy.
And then when you look to the future as well, obviously you said you haven't got any concrete plans, but is there any particular matches you would actually want over the next year? Like anyone that's on your radar that you would want to face or rematch or anything like that?
Bro, if I was to aim super high, bro, dude, I'd love to fight Pedro Mourinho, who's number one. That would be sick. But man, that's a big ask. Honestly, I would just love to get on there again and just smash whoever they give me. I want those high level guys, man. I want to beat black belt world champions. So that's definitely the next thing I want to think about. Now that I'm a black belt, I don't want to like, tinker around the edges, man. I want to get right in there and just cook whoever the best guy is. So that kind of thing, man. Give me whoever it is.
Nice, nice. Well, that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through with you. But is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to, or anything you want to mention there before I let you go?
Dude, not really, bro. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff. Bro, everyone has to follow me on Instagram. Ipsace. It's the best Instagram page on Instagram. So, if you don't follow me, you suck. But if you do follow me, you're a legend. So I think that's how it goes.
Nice, nice. Well, thanks very much for your time, Sebastian, and good luck for the
Appreciate it,
weekend
bro.
as well.
You
Nice
too,
one.
man.